Hello everyone, I'm Walker Stutz and welcome to the first episode of SUTV Overtime. Tonight's episode will contain a recap of sports this past couple of days, the top 5 sports plays of the week, along with an interview of a PSAC track athlete of the week. We'll get into that in just a moment. And let's take a look at the past scores for sports this week. Starting with baseball, Shippensburg swept St. Michael's 3-0, outscoring their opponent 32-12. For men and women's basketball, both teams lost to East Stroudsburg, with the men's score 76-64 and the women's 68-58. Shippensburg wrestling took a loss to Elizabethtown during their senior day game. And lastly, the Raiders lacrosse was back for their season opener against the Wheeling Cardinals. They took care of business, beating the Cardinals 20-4 in dominating fashion. Now let's take a look at those top 5 plays of the week. Coming in at number 5, we have Shippensburg Wrestling versus Elizabethtown. Mike Trainer takes down Stephen Balick for a point, extending his lead by 5. At number 4, men's basketball took care of East Stroudsburg in a close match. Raiders with a fast break passes it to Jaden Smith, who misses the 3-point shot but rebounded by Jackson Boone, and then passes the rock to Denzel Figueroa under the paint for the easy score. Staying with men's basketball at East Stroudsburg, Raiders take control of possession, and Gabriel Romeo Sands throws the ball up to Timmy Connor, who puts it in the basket. At number 2, we took a look at Shippensburg baseball versus St. Michael's at home in a doubleheader. Evan Schaffler hits a massive home run to put the Raiders up by 2 in the bottom of the 4th. This marks his second collegiate home run of his career and of the day. Coming in at number 1 is Shippensburg lacrosse versus Wheeling. Matty Parmesan steals a pass from Wheeling and then takes a shot at goal, which hits the back of the net, extending the Raiders' lead. That's all for our top 5 plays of the week. Coming up next week is the Indoor Track Championship meets, and we were able to speak with the men's track athlete of the week, Tommy Crum Jr. Hello, my name is Walker Stutz, and I'm here with Tommy Crum Jr. He's a track athlete for Shippensburg. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. All right, let's get into this. At what point in high school did you decide that college might be for me? You know, like I want to take this to the next level.
It was definitely my junior year. Whenever I started running fast times, I'm like, oh crap, wait, I'm good. And then like my freshman and sophomore year, I was still like 5 feet tall, like super short, and I wasn't good. But I just did it because I enjoyed running and I enjoyed the people around it. And freshman and sophomore year, we would just kind of fool around at practice and have fun and whatnot. And then the people I looked up to, I was a sophomore when they were seniors. So my junior year, they were gone, and I was like, oh crap, I'm an upperclassman, you know. And I started to take it a little more seriously, and the progress started to show. And I was like, oh, this is, I could go to college for this, So it was at that moment.
Now, what made you decide Shippensburg? Obviously, he did end up choosing here, but what was your ultimate factor for choosing Shippensburg?
Well, first, obviously it's close to home. Like Bowling Springs is 25 minutes down I-81, and it's right here, close to family and everything. I honestly didn't do a whole lot of research into college and whatnot. All I knew is that I just wanted to run, So I kind of based it off of my running decision, and I was like, all right, I'll go to this one. But it was a lot to do with, I didn't want to go to a bigger school. I don't think I would succeed there. Like, I like having my longest walk to class be 10 minutes here at Shippensburg. So, and then the coach, Coach Steve Spence, obviously played a huge role. He got 3rd at the World Championships in 1991 in the marathon. He knows what he's doing, and it's shown here. So it was a lot of coach, being close to home, and just finding a good place to be around.
All right. So, like, when you got to Shippensburg and you had your first practice as a distance runner, how was the level? You know, like how was it? How did it differ between high school and college?
Yeah, so I didn't run in my first practice because I was hurt. The transition from high school to college was a lot. In high school, I only did like 25 miles a week to 30, and then this program does at least 70. So in summer training, I got hurt, and I wasn't able to compete my freshman year of cross country here at Shippensburg. But just being at practice and like seeing how everyone takes it, like the mentality is just so much more focused, and they're not worried when they're at practice. They're not worried about this and that, like that happens with school or home life. They're worried about, I'm gonna come here and run, enjoy it, and they also, the people that were here when I was a freshman, they made it so much fun. They made it like I wanted to go to practice every day. But then whenever I started running again, I was like, man, this is a lot harder, a lot different. It's just a whole another level of running, obviously, as you transition from high school to college, but it was a lot different.
Yeah. Now, well, you have new coaches here. You have Dave Osinich and Steve Spence that helped you, gain experience while a distance runner. Can you talk me through how they were able to help you at the higher levels?
Steve Spence is the cross country coach, and Dave, he's the track coach. But I have a little funny story about Coach O. But Spence he wouldn't really put any pressure on you freshman year. There was no expectations freshman year, even sophomore year. It was more like he just wants you to get acclimated to college running and for you to feel comfortable and all that. But he had a lot of advice that I never even knew was available, And then, so he wants you to be you. He wants you to be the best you can be and just see progression. Now, Coach O, he obviously has control of the whole track team, so he doesn't focus on like individual people. So it's more like once you establish yourself on a college level, then he'll know you and know your name. But he helps a lot with confidence and reassuring that you are meant to be here, you are meant to do good and things like that. So he's been a huge help with how I view myself as a runner, like in the confidence aspect of it.
Yeah. So, you're learning all these new things with these new head coaches, but you also have to tackle college, right? You're not here just to run, you're here to also learn. And Tommy is a communication journalism major, so I want to know how he's able to tackle his classes and also do outdoor and indoor track too. So how do you do it?
It's not easy. It's a busy schedule, Usually every day we have practice at 3:30, so I like to get all my classes done before that, and so I can practice, lift, and then go to dinner after and not have to do anything for the rest of my night. The past 2 semesters, I haven't been able to do that. I've had classes at 3:30, and so I miss practice on Monday, Wednesday, and whatnot. But just a lot of time, like a lot of the open time in the library, just studying or just doing extra homework or whatever it is. And unfortunately, I haven't really been able to be a part of the communication programs here, like SUTV or the Slate or WSYC. And it's something for the past 2 years, I've told myself, like, all right, I'm gonna get involved, and then I just don't have time for it. And it's unfortunate to see, but also adding 2 minors has taken up a lot of my time with a lot of those classes and a lot of extra homework and whatnot. But just being in the library for whatever it may be and doing a lot of work on the weekends is how I can keep myself sane, But running is also a huge help for me because it's like the only place I can clear my mind and just be with my own thoughts and whatnot. So it's a huge help.
All right. Well, you had this new PR that you set, and you're really happy about it. And can you talk me through how during the Darius Dixon Memorial Invitation where you had your big performance and how were you able to put yourself in that mindset to, accomplish that PR that you had?
Yeah, a lot goes into it for sure. A lot of it is confidence and knowing that I can go out there, run a PR, and I ended up running 4:04 in the mile. And pre-race, especially for a big race like this, that was one of our biggest ones of the year. So I kind of go nonverbal, I put my headphones on, turn on noise canceling, and I just listen to music that will inspire, like lift me up, inspire me for 3 hours before the race, whatever it may be. And then this race was a little different. Like typically, I look at a race and I think, all right, let's just go do this. I want to see what I can do, But this race was different. I had received a lot of texts and a lot of just verbal messages saying, like, hey, we're going to be there for you, or people saying, we're going to watch you on the stream. And in my mind, my focus shifted to, wow, there's a lot of people watching me. And it shifted from I want to go out there and run and see what I can do for myself to, I don't want to let these people down. I have a lot of people watching me, and of course I want myself to succeed, but I also want them to be happy for me and just make the people that support me proud. And I think I did that, and it was very relieving.
Yeah. I mean, you said that music helps you get into that mindset. How does the program help you get into that mindset for the upcoming meets and whatever?
Yeah, so during the week of a race, we taper. It's something we call a taper week, and we'll do a workout on Tuesday, and then I like to take a rest day Wednesday, and then it's easy runs up until the actual race. And so we're not putting very much pressure on our legs for 3 days before. So it's just also just not really doing anything. Go to class, eat, run, and then sit down. So it's just taking it very easy and mentally preparing yourself.
After big races, how do you process? You just did that. You talked about your recovery, but how do you recover your mind with that type of thing?
There's a few different ways. Usually it's just the people around me. If I have a good race, right? If I have a good race, take time, celebrate, and be with the teammates. Cool. And then a big thing is also the cool down. So after every race, we just go 10 minutes and just shake out the legs after doing a hard effort, and that'll clear my mind a little bit. Like, man, I just ran that, or it's just get ready. But sometimes for other meets, we'll have another race right after, or 2 hours after. So it's okay, cool. I just ran. Now I got to focus on the next one, and then just focus on the next one.
All right. Well, indoor track is coming to an end here. We have the season is continuing, but we have some big things coming up next week. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah. So next week we have the indoor PSAC championships at Lehigh, and it's just a place for everyone to show what they've been doing throughout the season. Today, people are leaving for Bucknell. There's a last chance meet to try and get some more PSAC qualifiers, and or maybe try and improve on some marks that we already have down. But yeah, next week, everyone in the PSAC goes Westchester, IUP, Bloomsburg, Kutztown. We'll be there, obviously. And it's just another track meet. We have to prepare for it the same as every other one. Get in the right mindset. And for this week especially, we will taper, because this is what the season comes down to. So we go extra easy on it, and then you're ready to go race day.
Well, what are some of the goals you're aiming for when you arrive at those meets?
Yeah, last year our DMR team, we won the DMR, and then I was also able to win the mile and the 3K. So keeping the standard this year, that's my goal, I'll be part of the DMR team again. So win the mile, and then win the 3K. That's keeping the standard, All
right. Well, thank you, Tommy, for joining us here. I wish you the best of luck at the upcoming championships, and I wish you the best of luck for the outdoor track season. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Overtime. Now, it's called Overtime, but I'm somehow not getting paid for it. Can someone get HR on this? Anyways, see you next time. Have a great night.